September 8th, 2025, and I'm over here at Eastbluff selling elementary music today. So I got here about 15 minutes ago, and in about an hour and 45 minutes I'm going to have my first class, which is TK, so I have plenty of time to set up and possibly practice some keyboard. No sustain pedal. Oh. And how humorous. Now I knew that it started at 10:30, but it's 5 past 10, and for whatever reason I thought 10, and I was sitting there ready and no one was showing up, and then I looked back and it was 10:30. But at least I'm prepared, so I got everything, the keyboard, I got the computer set up finally, and the slides to go along with it. So for the younger grades like kindergarten and TK today, I'm going to be using the same slides that I used at Woodland last Friday when I was subbing elementary music over there. So it's all about, we got the beat, so like beat, and I think the older students are going to be doing rhythm as well. So it should be excellent, teaching the same lessons, doing the same activity on the keyboard, and listening to the same songs. In fact, as I was getting set up, an employee came in asking if I was the music teacher or the sub. I said just the sub, and then she recognized me from Woodland last Friday. Well, again, at least I'm ready and prepared for a melodious day. And so that was an excellent day today, very melodious. There is a TK class, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. The older grade levels, 1st and 2nd grade, we're learning about rhythm on top of the beat. The beat is the steady pulse of music, but the rhythm adds the flavor. It's like the regular repeated pattern that overlays the music. I was playing the same songs, mostly from last Friday at Woodland, so that was excellent. And sort of by surprise, the teacher at this last 1st grade class attends the same church that I do. So again, today was a great day. As always, I enjoy being here at Eastbluff. It's September 9th, 2025. I'm over here at Newport Heights Elementary, subbing 3rd grade today. And so this day ended up being very good. The students are good and very, very talkative at the same time, but we got a lot of work done. They were really engaged during the detective mystery packet that we did together with language arts. For math, they were learning multiplication. And earlier today, I referenced a teacher who still works here, and I asked if they know him, and some said yes. And I said he was my 3rd grade teacher over 20 years ago, and back in early 2004, he taught me multiplication and then division, so I remember that quite well. In fact, the room behind me is room 11, and that was my 4th grade classroom 21 years ago. And then behind me this way is room 19, and that was my 5th grade classroom exactly 1 score ago, 20 years ago. So it's like a full circle moment. In fact, I was calculating in my head earlier, like what day was September 9th, 2005, which was 20 years ago. And I believe it was a Friday if I did it correctly. And so therefore I must have been here on campus 20 years ago today in that room. And I know I had to have been here because I had perfect attendance that year too. So a lot of the students, particularly the upper elementary, were happy to see me again too, wondering who I was subbing for. And some of them wished that I was subbing for them today. This morning I had quite a start even before I entered the campus. I met a teacher from Eastbluff whom I'm friends with, and we go to church together. In fact, I believe I said that in yesterday's teaching update. And I said, I'm very humiliated, but I forgot to turn in the keys. And Eastbluff Elementary is over in the Corona del Mar zone, so over 5 miles away. And so she was gracious enough to pick up the keys out in the parking lot this morning and took it over to Eastbluff. And then I got an email from Eastbluff saying that they would retrieve the keys. And that is not the first time in the last 3.5 years of subbing, because I put it in my pocket and sometimes I'm like, oh no. But fortunately, no hard feelings. Also, after signing in, I was walking down the hallway in the office, and I noticed that they put a lot more panoramic photos of 6th grade graduations over the years. And the one I'm in from June 22nd, 2007 is still there. Also throughout today, there were a few students at the school who were complimenting me about my books. So again, this day ended up being good. I was showing tricks throughout the day. They're in science now, and then after science, it's the end of the day. So it's always good to be here. I ran into my former 3rd grade teacher and the custodian who was working here for like 27 years, and a couple of other teachers who still work here, and we know each other. So just full circle moment. Great to be here, and can't wait for next time. It's September 10th, 2025, and I'm over here at Kaiser Elementary subbing 3rd grade today. I'm actually a roving staff today, so I'm going to start in a 5th grade classroom here. I just spoke with the teacher and she's very happy that I'm here because I've been subbing for her off and on for the past couple of years, so she likes it when I sub for her. So it's going to be pretty straightforward, just like social studies and homework review, and excited for the day. So the class for the past 2 hours was very perfect. They're working hard, silently, independently, and then in groups doing social studies and language arts. And then I did a heads or tails game / trick at the end. And now off to my second class of the day, which is right over here in this 3rd grade classroom. In fact, the teacher here is the wife of a person from Ensign, and he taught there when I was a student there, and he still teaches there. He teaches robotics, and I subbed for him last year. And so a few minutes after I got here, the teacher came to me and said, "You're teaching math lesson 14," and she had all the students turn to the page, and I was doing a math lesson. But that's my specialty. In fact, I believe I saw the son of my mentor teacher who now comes here. I did my student teaching in math at Ensign down the street back in 2022. Right after the math lesson and before lunch, I showed a card trick that baffled them, and as they were lining up, they were like, "Teach me your ways." But I'm like, it's just sleight of hand. And so the class is currently at lunch right now, so far so good. And just like that, the day is done. Before lunch, they were perfect, and after lunch, they were talking, very chatty. But guess what? We got through the writing and all the story. There's a 6th grader who came in from another class and brought over a few notes for me because I did an assembly here last April, and some of the 6th graders wrote thank you notes to me. So I was very appreciative to receive those. So this day was good, and I know where I'm going to be tomorrow, which is right back over here at Kaiser Elementary. It's Thursday, September 11th, 2025. So this morning after the bell rang and school was starting, the intercom went on and just went through its morning routine, saying it's September 11th, 2025, and please stand for the pledge and all that. And then the principal came on afterward reminding everyone that it is Patriot Day. 24 years ago today, I was 6 years old, and it was September 11th, 2001. And I was 1 week into 1st grade. I began 1st grade on September 4th, 2001. 4 years ago, on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I made a whole reflection video talking about how I took it as a 6-year-old, not knowing anything about world politics or whatever was going on. So I just wanted to reflect on that. September 11th, 2001 was a day that we never forget and have never forgotten, and that's why I donned on my red, white, and blue flag tie. I have quite a few of these. I'm also reflecting and want to pay tribute not just to the heinous acts that went down 24 years ago, but for the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday. I was walking home yesterday after working here at Kaiser, and I got the text saying that he was shot and didn't make it, and it was just so melancholy for the rest of the day and night and this morning. And you know, right, left, anywhere in between, it shouldn't end with this type of violence. So I was taking it hard yesterday about the news, as I'm sure the entire nation, if not the world was. And I was saying to a couple people yesterday, like, I know exactly what November 22nd, 1963 must have felt like to so many people, which was the assassination of John F. Kennedy, our 35th president. And now with this, it just seems to be, it's equal. And it's like I know how the nation must have felt like, because I've just been feeling the sadness in my heart over this. So I wanted to just take a moment in tribute for 9/11 and Charlie Kirk. So I'm subbing another 3rd grade class today, right next door to the one I subbed in yesterday. In fact, it was another last minute change because I thought I was going to sub for another 3rd grade class, but they switched me here. But I will say this is one of the best sets of 3rd graders that I've ever subbed for in the past 3 years of substitute teaching. In fact, one of the students here is the daughter of my mentor teacher whom I had 3 years ago back in 2022 at Ensign Intermediate School. And her father also does physical education at Ensign, and back in 2007, her father covered for my main teacher in PE so long ago. So small world. So we're getting a lot of work done. Again, the students are great. I showed a few tricks and they were just amazed by them. In fact, a couple of people in this room and yesterday remembered me from my assemblies at Woodland Elementary that I did back in 2023. And in fact, 1 year ago today, I remember being at Meredith Elementary doing a few assemblies over there. And so it's lunchtime now, and so far so good. And so just like that, the day is over, concluding with bike duty outside, and a few people, including a student, were complimenting me throughout the day on the tie. And so this teacher whom I subbed for today, I actually knew for probably over 10 years at a church I used to go to. In fact, we were texting back and forth earlier because she gave me the wrong stack of science quizzes. So we did about everything today, from language arts to mathematics a couple of times, and then science and reading. And all in all, it was a very good day today. In fact, I ran into the teacher who used to be in this room, and I subbed for her the past couple of academic years. She now teaches second grade across the way, and her piano's moved over there. So if I get to sub for her this year, I can tickle the ivories. And that teacher who used to teach in this room told me earlier today that she read both my books this summer. And so I'm happy of how today went. As always, good to be here at Kaiser. And the day's not even over for me because a couple blocks away I'm going to be tutoring piano, and later I'm tutoring algebra too, so it should be a good afternoon and evening. And it is Friday, September 12th, 2025, and I'm concluding this week off here at Wilson Elementary doing elementary music today. So the former music teacher, now 6th grade teacher here, came in and said there's a change in the schedule at the last minute. Instead of 5th graders, I'm getting 6th graders, and said that I need to modify from the slides and basically do improv. So I'll probably start with the prepared slides anyway, and then go on to like hot potato or something. So it should be fun, melodious, and interesting at the same time. And the unfortunate part today is I forgot my music. But fortunately I had my phone here, but still it was small to read. And I even told myself before I came in last night, make sure I bring it. Oh well. And not to mention that one of these things, our potato, fell behind the cabinets. And while playing a spirited game of hot potato for one of the 6th grade classes, I was playing turkey in the straw, and one student was like, okay, where's my ice cream? Because that's the common theme for ice cream trucks. So I'm rarely over here at Wilson Elementary, but a lot of the 6th graders remembered me from 2022 when I subbed for them back in 3rd grade. Just like that, it's over. So I had 2 6th grade classes, and the last one was a 4th grade class, and it was excellent, melodious. I would say that like the first 6th grade class and the 4th grade class really got into the beat, and all 3 classes were good. It's just some students knew more about beat and rhythm than others. But again, after the body percussion videos and the rhythm videos, we played hot potato, and then I showed like a couple of tricks throughout the 45 minutes that the students were in here. And in fact, this last class, the 4th graders, as they were walking out, they were all saying thank you for the tricks, and they're also complimenting me on my piano skills. And for everything, the tricks and the piano, it just takes a lot of practice and never giving up on those things. So remember that disability or not, anyone can do whatever they set to their heart and mind to do, as long as it's practical, and behind the disability we have a heart and a mind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.